In today's adventure of an episode, we're reading some more Entitled Parents. It's going to be a wonderful time and I hope you guys are excited. Having a super lazy day today, like almost too lazy. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. So yeah, going to wake up a little bit with some Entitled Parents and let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Entitled mum mad that I won't share a graduation party with a 6-year-old. I, 24 female, am graduating college this year. I dropped out at 18 for financial reasons and then went to community college. I graduated during the pandemic and transferred, taking 4 years at university since I worked and went as a part-time student. I'll be attending a credential program this fall and working in child development. I'm having a small graduation party in June with my friends and family at my parents' house. My mum, 51 female, called me and said that a family friend, Amy, 24 female, suggested that we have a joint party because her oldest kid Leila is graduating from kindergarten and said that Leila looks up to me and wants to share the party with me and we could save money. I said absolutely not and that my graduation party would be boring for Leila and her friends. I'd have to tell my friends not to swear or talk about anything adult and nobody would want to hear about me or my degree because everybody would be focusing on the baby. My mum told Amy no. Amy sent me a message saying that I broke Leila's heart and that I'm being quote unquote self-involved and jealous of a 6-year-old stealing my spotlight. Amy said that she deserves just as much recognition for raising kids and getting to this milestone as a parent. And I said she sure does and she can do that at her own celebration, not at mine. Yeah, that's right, OP. By the way, she had a baby shower and a wedding last year. She's not wanting for attention. She said college isn't a big deal, get over yourself. And that I made a child cry because I wanted the attention to myself. Oh, get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? That is so frustrating. And what, graduating from college isn't a big deal, but graduating from kindergarten is? What are you talking about? Yeah, wow, that's unbelievable. OP is 24 having a graduation party. Why the hell would they want to share that party with a 6-year-old? Nobody would, and OP isn't a bad person because of that. Like, are they joking or something? The top comment says, haha, Amy needs to get a life. And like the comment under it says, if graduating from college isn't a big thing, then what's graduating from kindergarten, lol? She's ridiculous to expect you and your friends to have a party with a bunch of 6-year-olds. Yeah, and the most annoying part about this is it's so obvious. Like, of course they don't want to. What are you talking about? What a start to the episode. My mum wants me to hand over all of my salary into her hands once I start earning. So I'm 20 female. My mother and I were talking about my studies and future plans, jobs, internships, and entrance exams last night. And she asked me, I want to see how much of your salary you'll give me into my hands once you start earning in the future. A little backstory, my mother has 3 sisters and my grandfather was the only earner in the family at the time. So my mum and aunts would hand over all of their earnings to my grandma. My parents are divorced and my father was toxic. He used to take my mother's full salary and give it to her as needed. She had to ask him for permission to spend his own money. Back to the story. I asked her why I should give her my entire salary and she explained that she and my aunts used to do the same. Oh my god, that doesn't make it right. I told her that it was different back then because there was only one earner in the family and 6 mouths to feed, whereas now it's just the 2 of us. She became angry and began verbally abusing me. She informed me that if I decline to give her my salary, she won't bear the expenses of my wedding in the future and I'll be the sole player. She also stated that she doesn't want me to ask her for free help in the future. I asked her what she would do with my salary, to which she said that she would make savings of her own and also it's the return of all the expenses of my education. I told her that I don't mind giving her some money every month to help. I would have done so regardless, but expecting me to hand over my entire salary to her is a bit much because after all, I would need it as well. She angrily said that she hopes I'll end up with a husband who would do the same, who will take all of my salary and give me only what I need, like pocket money. After I told her how much she disliked my dad taking her salary and giving it to her only when she needed it. Oh my god, what are we reading today? This is unbelievable. OP, don't ever give anybody all of your salary, ever. What sort of a bloody parent treats their child like this? Gross. And oh, you won't help me with my wedding? Who cares? Oh my god. I can't believe that. And she thinks that because she and your aunt used to do that you should? No, that's an awful idea. The top comment says, earn your own money and nobody will ever own you. Remember that. Helping her is one thing. Being an entitled asshat is another. Tell her, keep running your mouth and you'll get nothing. Go kick rocks and get a job like everybody else. As for her threat to not paying for your wedding, with what money when she wants you to subsidize her existence? Lol, you and your fiance will be more than capable of doing it yourself. yourself, and you won't have to listen to anybody trying to hijack your wedding with what they want because they're contributing money to it. Again, make your own money and nobody owns you. She's acting like you won't get free help in the future, aka what, babysitting grandkids? But it never would have been free to begin with because everything with her is conditional on you paying for her. Yeah, 1,000,000%. They sound awful. And that's right. Oh, you won't help pay for my wedding, which would probably end up being a bloody nightmare. Oh no, what a shame. You're going to be working for your money, OP. You keep it. You can't give in to stuff like this. And I can't believe this is how a parent is acting to their kid. That's so awful. My mum thinks that my fiance should shoulder the whole wedding expenses. She literally was disappointed when my fiance asked what I was willing to cover for our wedding. He didn't demand or impose, he was simply asking, but my mum got offended for me. Her line of thinking is he's the man. He asked your hand in marriage because he believes he can provide for you, which I believe is a very sexist and outdated way of thinking. I have a career, I don't mind helping out with the expenses, and I want to show my future husband what I can bring to the table and that we're a team. Jesus Christ, why are parents belonging to Generation X so entitled? Yeah, like the top comment says, tell your mum, based on tradition, the bride's family pays for the wedding. Are you willing to contribute? She'll leave you both alone. Yeah, that's so annoying. I'm sorry, OP. Like, they don't really get a say in stuff like this. And yeah, your mum should already be leaving you guys alone. But like the top comment says, you might have to say something to make them leave you alone. But yeah, you shouldn't have to in the first place. The absolute audacity. My mum has a breakdown every time I tell her I'm moving out. I'm a 22-year-old female. I just finished college with my BSN and I got my RN license earlier this week. I've been offered a position in my desired specialty the next state over, about 5 hours away. The city is double the size of my current town and has much higher crime stats, but it is a good opportunity and I'm excited about starting a new adventure. The only people who are not excited for me are my family, my mum especially. She's just so angry at the prospect of me taking this job. She's mad that the pay's lower than my other opportunities, that there's no sign-on bonus, and that I'll know nobody in my new city. She ignores me when I tell her that new grad positions in my specialty are few and far between, that I'm not signing a contract that locks me to the hospital, that the hospital has excellent ratios, that I'm 22 with no significant other or children tying me to my hometown, that I have no significant assets to lose if I do fail, making this the best time to take a chance. She's just so focused on being angry. She keeps on making passive-aggressive comments about how I feel that she didn't support me enough through college, which isn't true. I paid my way through my bachelor's degree on my own, and she hates me saying that. I know she'll be hurt if I don't involve her in the moving process, but when I do try to involve her, showing her apartments or looking at furniture, etc., she blows up and accuses me of shoving it in her face. Last night she tried once again to convince me to apply to other jobs closer to home after she asked what my plan was, and I gave her the same answer I've been giving her for over a month. When I pointed out that these jobs were at hospitals with poor ratios and bad reputations, HCA facilities, and not in my desired specialty, she blew up again, told me that she's not going to argue with me, and went to bed for the night. I'm just so exhausted, and beyond that, I'm hurt. Her neighbor's 19-year-old son just left for the Air Force and talks frequently about how awful his stepmother is for being mad about him leaving when he's such a sweet, good kid. I've spent my entire life trying to please her. I didn't even apply to schools outside of my hometown when I graduated high school. I paid for my degree so my parents didn't have to shoulder the burden. I've worked 2 to 3 jobs around the clock since I was 18, despite being a full-time student. I've never tried drugs, I barely drink, I've broken up with partners to make her happy. I'm very involved in helping with my chronically ill younger sister and my delinquent little brother. I'm in a constant anxious state of trying my best, if that makes sense. A constant march towards an unattainable goal, and yet I'm not good enough, nor responsible enough, nor ready to try to be independent. I love my mum and my family. I feel so guilty about leaving that it's literally eating me up inside. I'm supposed to move in a week from today and I have no idea how to leave on good terms between us. She keeps on giving me bills for various things, and I'm worried that she's going to try to charge me more once I'm actually gone, and then my savings will be totally depleted. Sorry for the rant, I'm just exhausted at this point. Oh my god, I bet you are, OP. That's such a crappy situation. Like, why can't they support you? I feel like you have to still do this, OP. You'll definitely regret it if you do listen to your mum. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry you have to deal with this, OP. My daughter's father wants to use her as therapy for his wife. I, 33 female, I'm going to preface this by saying that my 6-year-old daughter's father, 37 male, I'm going to call him Jeff, has never been my romantic partner. We had a one-night stand. I don't like people calling him my ex since it makes it seem like we had some kind of emotional attachment. He was never involved after I told him I was pregnant and actually wanted me to terminate the pregnancy, but I decided to raise my child alone since I have enough money to raise her without child support. For the whole pregnancy and the first 4 years, Jeff was not in the picture. On my mother's recommendation, I did send him pictures and I invited him to special events, but he always replied that he had no interest in my daughter. 2 years ago, he reappeared and began demanding parental rights. When I didn't do what he wanted, he sued and was told no, he was not getting parental rights. He was given the offer to pay child support and then we can revisit giving him actual rights, but he refused. He has the money, much more than me, but he refuses. I still offered to let him see my daughter in a casual manner, no child support needed, with the agreement that anything legal or medical or educational will not involve him. He pushed the boundaries and we had a fallout. After that, we didn't hear from him for almost 6 weeks before he called me to meet for Christmas. After much discussion, I agreed to bring my daughter over on the condition that my daughter's godparents could come. Thus, we went over for Christmas dinner, and finding out Jeff is married and had never told his family that he had a child, it was great to be judged by a bunch of strangers. It was uncomfortable the whole time. I'm going to use fake names, but let's say that my daughter's name is Katie. His wife kept on calling my daughter Gabrielle, not the actual name that she used, but it was that different to my daughter's name. The wife was also very physical, trying to pick up my daughter or parent her. I'd block her or tell her to please let me deal with my child. The whole time she pretty much ignored me, but Katie didn't seem nervous, so I decided to just bide my time. I hit my limit when my daughter said she needed the bathroom, and this stranger went, "Oh Gabby, you need potty. Let mummy change you." Oh my god, what? My daughter hasn't worn diapers in a while now, and she's more than capable of going alone to the bathroom. I immediately told her to stay away from my daughter and that we were leaving. The woman started wailing that I was kidnapping her baby and tried to lunge at me. Her in-laws got in the middle and held her, consoling her and saying that we weren't leaving and for her to calm down like she was the victim. At that point, I just glared at Jeff and I told him he better explain or I was going to call the cops. He asked me to speak in private in another room and that I could just leave my daughter with his parents. No way that would ever happen. Katie's godparents took her with them despite the wife having a full meltdown. Jeff and I spoke outside and he explained that he and his wife recently lost a daughter. I'm not going to give out specific details on that. All I'll say is that it was sudden and nobody's fault, and as I can only imagine, it had caused some psychological issues to his wife. Apparently he had the brilliant idea that having Katie pass as their lost child would help his wife without telling me, and that's why he wanted visitations and parental rights. He pleaded for me to leave my daughter with him for a little bit. I asked him what was his plan when his wife heals. His response was disgusting. "Well, I'll just send Katie back with you and it'll be just like before." I told him he was insane if he thought I'd let him use my daughter like that. What his wife needs is therapy with a professional, not feeding her delusions, and I wouldn't let that woman within miles from my daughter. He told me that I was being cruel and didn't know the pain of losing a child. I agreed with him, but I reminded Jeff that my priority is not his family, it's my child. What he and his family do to work through their grief has nothing to do with us. I also told him to call his lawyer because I'm making sure he never has contact with my child, so that's what I'm bracing for. He's been blasting my phone since Christmas, but I can easily ignore him. My daughter and I are doing a small travel vacation. This isn't an update, just something I feel needs to be said. My daughter is set for life monetarily. She has a trust and I make really good money in my position. If she was 18 right now, I could put her through college without a loan. She doesn't need child support for quality of life. If I could get child support and never worry about her father trying something, I'd be suing him in a heartbeat. But after talking to a lawyer and realizing the risk, I've taken the decision that child support or possible inheritance is not worth my child's safety. Safety is always first. Hey everybody, Happy New Year's. This isn't so much a real update as just letting people know that we're home and safe. My daughter is spending the rest of her vacation with her godparents on another trip while I work on things. Moving might be something I'll be looking into, though that is a long-term plan considering all it takes. I won't share too many details on what my lawyer is going to be doing, but we are absolutely going to push for an RO. I might not be posting for some time, at least not until things are settled. I do appreciate all the support and good advice. I'm taking a lot of it into account as I plan how to move forward, and there's an update here. Hey everybody, I decided to post a last update since I will be going full silent for a long period. For those that didn't know, I'm right now dealing with my daughter's father and his delusion. He wants to use my daughter as a therapy doll for his wife that recently lost a child. A lot of people were worried for my daughter and me, and I truly appreciate it. We're both safe. She's currently having a great vacation with her godparents, and I'm currently making my own arrangements to move on. My lawyer is working hard on keeping everything in order. I know that a cease and desist was his first action, and we are going for no contact. He says we have a solid case, and hopefully this will be resolved relatively fast, and by that I mean a year or two. We did get a temporary restraining order. It's only until our first court date, but after it could be extended. I haven't had direct contact with Jeff. He lawyered up too and tried to send a threat to take full custody. My lawyer laughed at it since his reasoning was parental alienation, except I have proof that I tried for years to have him involved. Apparently turning in a few emails and showing my attempts was enough to get them to change parental alienation alienation to a different reasoning. My lawyer is not worried. For now, I've decided after much thinking that moving is going to be necessary. It won't be something I can do on a whim, but I will be looking into new houses within the month to hopefully move sometime this year. School will remain the same, but we will be speaking to the admin to make sure only certain people can pick her up, and part of that decision has been to hire a private driver. He's somebody that I absolutely trust and has worked for relatives in the past, so I'm very comfortable with the idea, and so is my daughter. Now I just have to make sure they don't go for fast food every day after school. Things, in all honesty, are not that scary right now. I have a good lawyer, good evidence, and my little girl is happy and healthy, so I'm going to focus on working things little by little. And because of legal proceedings, I don't think I'll be posting any updates anytime soon. And to those sending me messages telling me I'm horrible for keeping my daughter from her father, or telling me that I shouldn't have had her in the first place, please speak to the void. I'm too busy. Oh my god, OP, that's so awful. Absolutely revolting. I read the first post and I realized immediately there was an update. So yeah, definitely had to read that. I'm so happy they're safe and everything's relatively okay. I can't believe there are people like this. And on that note, that's enough for today. Definitely time for something wholesome. How can I thank a spider who's been in my home for months helping me with insects? Serious, pretty much what the title says. I had a severe insect issue until my spider friend came around. It's been a few months and they're still here taking care of the insects for me. I used to hate spiders, but I've come to appreciate them since I need help with pest control. Is there a way I could make it more comfortable or say thank you somehow? I'd also like to learn more about common household spiders, but I'm not sure where to start or what is best. Google can be overwhelming. I know this sounds crazy, but it's the least I can do for them helping out. Thank you. Oh, that's so cute. They've done a lot for me. How can I say thank you? My 4-year-old asked what happens when you drive over a stick of butter. I said it'll flatten. He asked how I knew, and that's how we got here. So what I'm saying is when we have a hypothesis in this house, we test it. I'm also saying that my wife is away. That's so funny. Oh my god, it flattens the butter? How did you know? That's so bloody beautiful. I'm so happy you actually tested it. My girlfriend complained that her fries weren't curly enough, so I gave her my curliest fry. She was so happy you would have thought I pulled out a ring and proposed. Girls are more simple than we're led to believe. Oh my god, yeah, everybody is more simple than we're led to believe. And that's the issue with the stuff that we read about nice guys. And they're like, oh, how do I get a female to like me? And acting like women are some alien species. And it's like, bro, we're all human. We're all people. And yeah, we're definitely more simple than people believe. And yeah, sorry, I got off track a little bit there, but that's so beautiful. And it's a beautiful place to leave today's episode. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did, and you want to see more episodes like this, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Erica. What's funny to me is how Vincey reads stuff like this on a daily basis, and he's somehow still surprised at people's antics. Yeah, oh my god, that's so funny. And I don't even know why. I feel like my brain gets reset every episode, and I'm like, surely people can't be this awful, right? And every single episode they are. Yeah, sorry about that. That's probably frustrating, but I hope you still enjoyed the episodes. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks again for all your support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!